Good evening to you, and thank you so much for joining us on The Link. Now, it's November, and we know that every November, every store, every service provider is trying to hook you in with a percentage discount. Could be a 10%, 50% discount, name it, because it's Black November. And I believe that because it's Black November, it's paramount that we help you as an end user and an end consumer understand what you need to know while you're purchasing some of these goods and services under the online economy. Now, you might be getting a service or a product online, and maybe you have had a bad experience. You don't know where to report it to. You have perhaps bought something that looked so good online, and only for it to be delivered at your doorstep, and the quality of the product, the expectations, they were killed. You know, you were disappointed and you had nowhere to report to. And of course, in the terms and conditions, they told you that we don't do replacements, or replacements are within such a period of time, and that period of time has elapsed for you, and so you end up with a product that you're not satisfied about and you have nowhere to run to. Well, this link is just for you. We're having a sit down with the National Information Technology Authority in Uganda. The Executive Director, Dr. Mugasa Hatwib, is with us and is here to help us understand how can we protect ourselves in this Black November. Good evening to you, Dr. Mugasa. Okay, so there's this thing called a digital economy. In this digital economy, now everything is online. We are filling in forms online, we are applying for jobs online, we are buying things and services online. But of course, I know that at the end of the day, there's something that has to be protected, and that is the consumer, who is the end user, which begs my first question. What is a digital right, and what is consumer protection?
Thank you for having me here once again, Priscilla. And yes, it's true, we are moving into the digital economy. And the difference between the traditional and digital is there's no brick and mortar location that you will have to go to access a service or to purchase a product. Right now, you pull up your phone or get onto a desktop or laptop, and you can access that service or purchase that product the same way that you'd have done if it was in a traditional way. The benefits is that it's more efficient. It's you are reducing on the cost of accessing this brick and mortar location, and also for the provider, it cuts down that operational cost. So there are a lot of benefits, but there are also risks and challenges that a consumer, specifically the consumer, could face. When you are buying let's say a shoe at a shop, you have an opportunity to try it on, you look at the different brands, you see the sizes. Here on the online service, you don't have that opportunity. It's the figures that are given to you are what you take as the truth, but in most cases, what we have been experiencing is when you receive the product on your doorstep, it's not what you were actually told.
Yes,
or what's
the quality
online.
is bad.
Exactly.
Yes.
And we have been having those challenges, and most of the consumers don't know where to go to. So they just stay silent and hope the next time it will not be the same.
Dr. Mugasa, could you help us define who the consumer you're referring to is? Because I could be an individual who's buying myself a laptop. I could be a company that's making this purchase. So who is a consumer in your perspective?
The consumer here that we are talking about is a consumer of goods or services that are purchased on a digital platform, or a good that is digital, or that is electronic, or a service that is electronic. A digital service could be a laptop, a phone, any product that is digital of nature, but you are purchasing it online. And here the service could be a software or any solution that is, or platform that you are purchasing. It could also be purchased at the store, but it is a digital platform or a digital service. Or even if you go to the store and you're buying a phone or a laptop, it's also a digital product. Okay. Or that hardware
an
is
electronic in any nature.
Electronic, yes. Yeah. So that is the consumer, and you are an end user. We're not looking at the middleman. If you're buying a product for sale, you are a business. as we're looking at the users, the end users who are going to consume this product.
Okay, so if I'm a company, then which category do I fall in? A
company, you are buying a product for you as a company to use.
Okay.
You're not buying to sell, to resell, or to distribute that. Will not benefit you. It's
okay, so it does not apply to situations, because now, especially with freight services, some companies have resorted to online freight services. You make your order and then they ship it and send it over to you. And so this category is not catered to in this case.
It caters to the person who receives that product, the end user of the product. The freight service provider is within that, now he is a provider of the service. So it's also touching on him, but there are now other categories, or categorize them in a different way than the consumer.
Okay.
Yes, them they are now service providers. You could be the middleman or the manufacturer, but once the product comes from you, there are some obligations that you must ensure to provide to this consumer of that service. And that's what we are now ensuring are in place, and we're protecting the consumer.
Right. Yes. Dr. Mgasa, the evolution of digital economy has also had evolution in corruption. Back in the day, I mean, you could go to a store physically and see the product for yourself and see the quality. If you like it, you buy. If you don't like it, you have the will to go. Today, it's a different case. I will see the product, I will purchase it, and then it won't be the quality. The other case scenarios that we do have on the ground is that people will order for something online, and because it's out of stock, the service provider will send me a different product or a similar or a relative product. And then they'll tell me that's what we had. And you know, they've already taken your money. They cannot return your money. So there is the battle of, do you fight for your money back, or do you got, you know, loggerheads with the service provider, or do you stay with the undesired or unordered for product? No, isn't that corruption?
That is corruption. Okay. And that's what we're also fighting. Corruption comes in many forms, but in this specific case, we're fighting the corruption that is perpetrated by the consumer. Because you, by the supplier. You as a consumer, you are the victim. You are a victim, and government is also a victim because they are losing in taxes. You're going to purchase a product which you will pay maybe $200, yet the actual product that they are giving you is $10. And that's what has been happening. You buy something because you don't have that interface with a seller, so he will send you something that is cheaper, but the tax that you have paid, you as a consumer, is for the $200. So this buyer, so the seller, the supplier, has actually deducted tax from your pay, but has not declared it to government. So that's where the corruption is being perpetrated. And we are saying, for any transaction, online transaction, the terms and conditions must be very clear. You must first of all identify yourself as a supplier of service. That identification has to be clear. That means that you must be a business registered under the Business Bureau, or if it's international, you must be internationally certified. But even operating in Uganda for IT services, you must be accredited. And at NITA, we accredit IT companies, service providers, and even professionals and trainers. Okay. So there are some categories that, so there are some obligations that we are putting in place to curb the corruption and ensure that, well, even if you attempt to sell this good at a higher price and take the tax that government should be picking up, we're able to track you, and you're able to...
All right, Doctor, for clarity's sake, for the certification and standardization that you are talking about, are you saying that the online shops that we have in Uganda, or that have customers in Uganda, they should be certified and recognized under NITA?
Yes, all online providers or providers of digital services or ICTs should be certified by Uganda.
So how do I know that this company is certified?
We have a list of certified companies on our website, nita.go.ug, that states per category. I'll give an example in the financial sector or the fintech. There are so many companies that are offering financial services. There's MTN, Airtel, and there are other many fintechs that are offering financial services. Before even Bank of Uganda gives you the license, operating license for that operation, you must, it's mandatory for those fintechs to come to NITA to be certified. Otherwise, Bank of Uganda will not allow you to operate in Uganda. Okay. Whether you are local or international, it is mandatory for you to be certified by NITA.
And what's the obligation of the service provider or the seller or the supplier in this case?
The obligation is that you are providing a service as you have marketed it, and you are providing a service that is going to, you are giving value to the end user. That you are providing a service that is being bought and it is at that same value. You're not providing less than what the consumer is receiving, but also you are giving the consumer a channel for either arbitration but also refund. In most cases, when we are buying a product online, you never even get to know if you can, or is there a process of refund or a complaint. So that complaint channel or mechanism must be provided for in the terms and conditions of the service provider.
Speaking of terms and conditions, in some of these applications or some of these sites ask us to get access to our private data, and how are we as consumers being protected and our data protected in this case?
Those are the unfair terms and conditions we are fighting or moving out, trying to amend within the supplier's conditions. It's not right for you to just give out data. In most cases, they sell to you some package that is so beautiful to the point that even you don't focus on what they're even asking for. Sometimes they ask for your mother's names, your father. You wonder, why do they want my mother's name? Why do I went to some place and they were asking me for my mother's email address. When did my mother ever have an email? Or why do they need my mother's email address? So some of the information, personal information specifically, is very, first of all, it's sensitive, but it's very risky for a consumer or an end user to share, because that's where fraud is committed. Once I know your information, I can do reverse engineering, and to the point of even guessing your password. So by just picking up some information from you, I already know you, and I can do fraud on you. But it is also a channel of corruption and fraud that is being used, and we're avoiding that.
All right. I know that the people that are watching the link right now, you're now having more questions and wondering, now how do I protect myself as an end user or a consumer? Dr. Mugasa, how is NITA Uganda helping us to protect us as consumers in this digital economy?
Now, NITA Uganda has set up a dispute resolution mechanism. It's online because we're in the digital economy, or we're promoting digital transformation, and we have launched a portal that now provides that channel for an end user to complain, a complaint portal. It's consumer.nita.go.ug. On this portal, you are able to, if you have been cheated, or if you have received a good that you were not marketed, or they didn't sell on the website, or something that you didn't expect to receive, you are able to report that supplier. The portal will allow you to now log your complaint, and we can take it up. We can take it on. At NITA, we have an IT arbitration process. We can arbitrate with the company that has sold you this good. If it's local or international, we are partnering with international partners to see that if the product is sold in Uganda and they're selling fake or counterfeit products, we're able to take them on and ensure that the consumer here in Uganda is compensated for that.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Mugasa. And for us as consumers, as I said in the beginning, that it's Black November. So I know that many of you are saving that money to buy up things at that discount. However, you need to be protected. So you need to know your consumer rights as well as protection as far as your data is concerned. So this applies to anyone who's having online transactions, financial transactions, good in exchange for money, or service in exchange for money. Are you dissatisfied? Are you complaining about a certain service provider or a seller that is continuously not heeding to your expectations? Well, now you know where to report to. I hope this information has been satisfactory to you and linking you to a better digital economy for satisfaction. Thank you so much. Good night.